I'm sure you've heard the story of Job's struggles, how he lost everything, endured unimaginable pain, and still managed to hold on to his faith. Job's journey is one of the most powerful stories in the Bible, filled with questions about suffering, faith, and the nature of God. But there's a chapter that often gets overlooked, even by those who know Job's story well. Have you ever stopped to look closely at chapter 26? It's easy to skim past it, but there's a lesson in there waiting just for you, a lesson about humility, awe, and the vastness of God's wisdom. Sometimes, the most profound truths are hidden in the chapters we least expect. In Job 26, Job responds to his friend's advice, not with anger or frustration, but with a deep sense of awe for God's greatness. His words are a gentle reminder that even in the midst of suffering, there's room for wonder. Instead of arguing, Job shifts the focus from human wisdom to the majesty of God. He points out how little humans truly understand about the universe. When we look up at the stars or witness a breathtaking sunrise, we're reminded of how small we are in the grand scheme of things. Job's words invite us to pause and reflect on the mysteries that surround us every day. Job describes how God stretches out the sky over empty space, hangs the earth on nothing, and controls the waters and clouds. He paints a picture of a universe held together by God's invisible hand, a world where every detail, from the swirling clouds to the crashing waves, is under God's control. It's a poetic reminder that the natural world is full of wonders we can't fully explain. He's basically saying, look, we think we know it all, but God's wisdom and power are beyond what we can imagine. No matter how much we learn or discover, there will always be mysteries that are out of our reach. This realization isn't meant to make us feel small, but to inspire humility and trust. He even says, "Lo, these are parts of his ways, but how little a portion is heard of him." In other words, what we know about God is just a tiny glimpse of his true greatness. There's so much more beyond what we can see or understand. That's verse 14. And it's the key. Job is reminding us to stay humble, to remember that God is bigger than our problems, our worries, and even our understanding. When life feels overwhelming, it's comforting to know that we don't have to have all the answers. We can rest in the knowledge that God's wisdom is infinite, and his care for us is unending. So next time you feel small or overwhelmed, remember Job 26. God's wisdom holds the universe together, and he can hold you too. Let this chapter be a source of hope and reassurance, reminding you that you are never alone, no matter how big your challenges may seem.